Hello, this is FuzzMonkey11. I'm going to be doing just a little bit of a tutorial on a few of the different machines you can build in FTB Monster, and they're using mostly Railcraft, Buildcraft, Industrial Craft, Tinker's Construct, and Thermal Expansion. I will also show you how to triple your ore in using Factorization, but you're going to have to put some manual effort in, as well as it's also quite expensive. Anyway, let's get to this. So, this right here is Smeltery, Tinker's Construct, the most basic smeltery you can make. You have to have a seared tank, a smeltery controller, and then the rest of it's built out of seared bricks, drains, and faucets. You also can have casting tables and basins underneath, but this is the smallest one you can make. Right here, the bottom layer is a 3x3, so you need 9 seared bricks there, and then these you just need the walls, and they can be made of any block, any kind of seared block from Tinker's Construct. So if you do seared, so any of these, so seared bricks, seared stone, seared cobblestone, seared paver, I mean any of them you can put there. You can make it completely out of windows and glass, which you can also store lava in. So anyway, I don't know what these brown ones are from, but they're all in here, and there's no recipes for them. I can't do it anyway because it's not NEI. Anyway, so this is the basic. What you do is, let me get some ore. Nope. Ore. Still not. Here we go. Here's some copper. Now this one can only hold 9 spots because it's only got 9 air blocks in the middle here. So we'll put 9 in there. Shift click it in. And you'll get 18 ingots out of it. So it will double your ore at the cost of lava. This is a larger one. I have a creative lava tank, so it's infinite. Anyway, in this I have tin smelted up. And that's all the liquid tin right there. So in there it's got 155 I put in, and then back here I have some of the ingots casting. This is a casting channel, so I open the faucet and it fills the channel, and those drain into these basins, which then create blocks of tin. So here, these are basins as well, but these are the casting tables, and on them I have a cast of an ingot cast. So when I pour it into that, it creates an ingot when it hardens, like that. 1 tin ingot from Industrial Craft 2. Okay, so that's Tinker's Construct. That's a smeltery, which you will double your ore, which is very helpful. Now this is Railcraft, a rock crusher. It will double your ore as well, although it will also make a lot of loud noises. See if you hear it. It makes a noise every time it crushes, and that's pretty loud. But it will double your ore. You guys just smelt that down. Any hoosers, the next one, this is just out of Thermal Expansion. It's a pulverizer and redstone furnaces. I put a hopper on the side here. You power it using energy conduits, redstone flux. You can use just a few of those and convert from Buildcraft energy if you're using the converters. Use Energy Bridge. I've got just creative energy cells here just to make it easier. But say you put 64 iron in there, it'll smelt. Every once in a while it'll get a like a gold ingot, a crushed gold, as well as iron, or whatever, for whatever material you're doing. And that'll go, I have it set up so inputs on the blue, which the input is the blue slot. It's on the left from the front. Red is the output here, the main output to the right, and yellow is output to the top. this right here would be the back, and that right there is the bottom. I have those set to nothing. So the one that go from the top there are going to head up here. So come in here, so the gold and all that stuff will come up here, and then on the orange side here, it'll output into that chest. Now this one, same thing, comes in from the blue on the left and goes up on into the chest. So everything will go into here, and it will double your ore. Now, this doesn't do anything with ore, but this is just something you'll eventually need to get into if you're going to be making the conduits. Leadstone energy conduits, and those don't require any kind of filling. But if you're going to make a, let's say, redstone energy, you need to get a redstone cell frame that's empty, and you put that into here, the transposer. That has redstone in it, destabilized redstone, and it will fill. So we'll put that right there, and that right there will slowly fill with redstone. Output to here, and there we go. You get that, and then that's part of the recipe to make your redstone energy cell. So you need to have the full one there. They're pretty simple. The way you have them set up usually is you set them right next to a magma crucible, which you put in either your ender for, you put an ender pearl in and it'll give you resonant ender. Or if you put in redstone, it'll give you destabilized redstone. And you can have it set to output on orange and input on blue. And then same for this one. It's input, there's no output. The output would be this slot here. See if you put it as red or orange. Yeah, so get rid of those. Okay, so yeah, there's that. This right here is the factorization setup for tripling your ore. You can stop at any point and you'll still have an increase, but it won't be triple. But you have to go through all of these for triple, and it takes a lot of time. They have their own power source, which is battery blocks. They have lead wires, which then can run to these two. Your slag furnace needs coal. It doesn't need energy. Anyway, the grinder, you put in your ore here, and it will grind up with a little bit of a increase. Then put it into your mixer with water. You'll get clean, you'll get washed ore. Then you put that into the slag furnace, and you get a little bit extra as well. And then you put that into a crystallizer with sulfuric acid, I believe. I believe it's sulfuric. Sulfuric acid right there, which you make this way. It's bottled water, coal, and gunpowder, or sulfur, coal, and water. And you put that in one of the slots, and then you can have up to 5 other of these here with your ore. But the only thing with the crystallizer though is if you're automating and you have it all come in, all the ore is going to go into one slot. So then if you get another kind of ore come in, it's going to go into a different one, and it won't do anything. It'll just clog up. So it's really hard to automate this. You're going to have to do it manually, spread them out. Otherwise, it's going to take you 20 minutes just to do. Each cycle is really long on the crystallizer, so it's very difficult. Anyway, to power the crystallizer, you need a furnace heater, which is then powered by a battery block. It can be run with lead wire if you want to. Alright, over here is a little tree farm thing I have set up with a sawmill from thermal expansion. The sawmill is done to produce glue balls, or balls of glue, which then you can put into a smeltery and make rubber from. So, anyway, the way this is set up is you have to have a harvester, a fertilizer if you want. I don't have it powered right now because it was making so much noise, and just it was, I mean, as you see, I only had it running for a little bit and it's already full on sludge everywhere. Even the boiler here is full. Anyway, down here is a planter, which you have in whatever saplings you want. What I have is it comes out of the harvester with a diamond Buildcraft pipe, separates the wood into two different sorts. Some of it goes into the sawmill, some of it goes into this chest because there was just an abundance of it. And then saplings go back down into the planter. Rubber goes into this chest right here. And yeah, just one power. You can have whatever come in for power. It'll power all of this. It all runs off. It all can run off redstone energy conduits. I don't know what else it'll run off, but pretty easy to try out. Just see what pipes connect. And that right there, if I just turn it to daytime, you'll see will go pretty crazy. Maybe it's gonna make a liar out of me, isn't it? Let me just turn that fertilizer on. Yeah, we'll go to configurations, and the only one that's off is right here. Clears all the leaves away, gets all the saplings, and clears it. Sometimes it'll bug out and it'll leave a sap log there, but eventually we'll clear it off. But they grow fast, so it has sometimes hard to keep up. Okay, I'm going to turn off that fertilizer now. Alright, so over here is another way for a power station you can have. You don't really need this many Buildcraft pipes on this for like a manifold on that. I was just playing around. Anyway, these are from Thermal Expansion. They're steam dynamos. They usually can run off from just coal and you have them full of water, but you can just pipe in steam if you have that ability. These are Railcraft boilers, low pressure boilers. This is the biggest solid fuels. I have them powered right now with blocks of coal coke, and which will last a long time. So yeah, it's just 2 banks of 6, and it produces quite a bit of energy. Here's a single low pressure solid fuel boiler. Doesn't run on it doesn't cost, the bigger the boiler is, the more fuel it's going to take. So this one has only used 2 blocks of coal coke, while this one has used 52. So it scales up pretty quickly as far as how much it actually uses. This right here is a steam turbine from Mine Factory Reloaded. It takes steam in and produces energy. So I'm pumping steam from this right here and taking the energy out. So it's not showing anything on these 2 things because it's leaving and entering just as fast as it's being used. So and now if you're into industrial craft and you need to and you want to try and produce energy, these boilers from steam as well. Here's these 2 boilers. These are 2x2 by 3 high, 4 high total with the firebox included. And then between the 2 is a steam turbine from Railcraft, which when you put a rotor in it and provide steam, it will produce energy. These boilers are up to temperature but are being drained pretty well, so I mean a slightly larger boiler might suffice or whatever, having some more steam in. But these are 6 MFSUs in here, and they're each getting about 1 million EU right now, and each of them 1.5 million. No, a few of them have more. That one's the primary, I guess. It's getting quite a bit. So that's a good way of getting energy for industrial craft without having to build a lot of solars and stuff. And these boilers are pretty easy to build. If we look at boiler, actually I need to go to this crafting boiler. So for the boiler firebox, it's just bricks, a furnace, and then a fireball, which is just gunpowder, blaze powder, and coal. And that gives you 3 of them. So I mean, it's pretty easy to make. You just need make this 3 times, and you can make a 3x3 firebox. And then if you look here, low pressure will make the most, but it takes, I think, longer to heat up. And a high pressure only gives 10 millibuckets of steam per tick. So it's actually better to do low pressure and then have it going continuously. High pressure is if you're gonna be shutting it down, taking it up. Like, it depends on how much. If you can keep it running constantly. If you can, go low pressure. If not, go high pressure. But these are pretty simple. You need a rolling machine, and the high pressure is steel, just 2 steel plates, and low pressure is just 2 iron plates. And it's just 4 iron in a rolling machine, or 4 steel in a rolling machine, and it gives you 4 plates. So that's 2 boilers. So it's relatively cheap to get this going. Getting the steam turbine. Let me see. Turbine. Right there. The steam turbine is steel and then steel plates. So, and that gives you 3, and you need to have a total of 12. I think, yeah. 4 times 3 is 12. Yes, you need 12. So you need to make this 4 times. So you need 16 blocks of steel and 16 steel plates. So you need a little bit of steel. So you need to have a blast furnace going, or making it in Tinker's Construct. Either way, it's not too expensive. It just takes a little bit of work to get going. This is pretty cheap. I don't know how much is that steam turbine. Yeah, this one is just a steam dynamo, some plastic, which is pretty simple, Invar. So yeah, steam turbines are pretty simple to make as well. Not too expensive. Steam dynamos are pretty cheap. They're all copper, copper gears and stuff like that. The most expensive part, I believe, is let me see, dynamo. I think is the rod. Oh. The rod right here. So enter. Yeah, this thing right here. It's just a transmission coil, which is made with silver. That's the most expensive thing. It's just copper and redstone. You need to have redstone to do it. And then the conduits. I mean, if you're using the basic conduits, it's not going to pump as much power through it, so it doesn't matter how many of these you have on it. Whereas the redstone ones do pretty good. Let me see, conduits. What's the highest? Yeah, redstone energy conduits, and it'll pump 10,000 redstone flux per tick, whereas the leadstone ones only is 80. So that's only like, I think, 2 of those dynamos. So I mean, it's dependent on all your stuff, how much power you can actually produce. The way, and also if you notice, the way I fill these boilers is with an aqueous accumulator. You just have the output set to all sides, it doesn't matter, and then you just have water on both sides of it, and it'll continually produce water and pump it without having to have pipes. So I have that under here as well. I have pipes coming out of it on this one to pump to both of them, and then on this one I have it between it, the pipes, and that keeps it full on water, because the way these boilers work is if it dries out, it's going to stop producing steam, obviously, because it doesn't have water to produce steam. But if you try to pump water in and the boiler is still hot, it will then actually explode, and it's not a pretty sight. But anyway, that's what I have for you so far. I'll be back probably with some other machines and tutorials along how to make them, or just how to use them. Anyway, if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section, and I'll reply to them. Later.